Hi everyone, I'm Mrs Inglis and welcome to the Artful Crew. Today we are going to be creating a tessellated collage inspired by M.C.Escher. Alright, what materials are we going to need? We're going to need some white paper for planning and to put on our background. We need some coloured paper. I have some grey, some green and yellow. We need a glue stick, some scissors. You'll need some pencils as well. Sticky tape for your planning template and some markers to do all your details at the end. Today our focus is on M.C. Escher. Now M.C. Escher was born in 1898 and he studied architecture for only a week before he decided it wasn't for him and he wanted to just focus on graphic design. He got lots of inspiration from the places he lived and travelled to, and this is a place in Spain that he was inspired by all the geometric tiles and figures in a 14th century castle in the hills of Spain. And he did lots of sketches based on this inspiration, and you can see them here. He sketched the tiles and then created his own ideas of tiled illustrations. And this is called tessellation. Now, tessellation is when a flat surface is covered with geometric shapes and tiles with no gaps or overlaps. It usually creates a repeating pattern as well. You can see he's used these geese or birds to create a repeating pattern. Now, M.C. Escher would start off with a square, and then he would take away part of the square and add it to another side, and then would repeat again on another part of the square. As a result, he created a butterfly-shaped tile. This is an example of a completed artwork using the idea of tessellation. It's called day and night. All right, let's get creating. All right, to start our tessellated collage, we're going to do a bit of planning to figure out our tessellated animal. So to do that, we need an A4 piece of paper. I've got mine landscape. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it in half again. All right. I'm going to open it up. And we're going to just cut one of these strips. Now you can always use more because it's a good idea to have a play first and make a few to see which ones you actually like and think would work. So to start off, we've got our strip. We'll need to make a square. So to do that, I'm just going to bring our corner down to our edge here. So it's nice and flat. And our edge is all nice and flat meeting together. So that's all nice and flat. Bring it up to the camera so you can see. Nice and flat. It's folded over. And then we're going to cut along this line here. Alright. Now, while you got it, you might want to make a few squares. So I think out of this I can make one more square. To make it easier for yourself, you might want to have some sticky tape already cut up into little pieces. I've got some just attached to my little bowl here. You can see that this originally was a square, and then I've cut a triangle out here, and then I've moved it exactly opposite over. Okay, you want to try and make sure it's as close as you can to the opposite side. Now, you can see then I've thought I might want to make my head more round, so I've cut a bit out here and moved it over to this side. Okay, so whatever you do to one side, you need to move it over to the opposite side. So I wanted over here a part of a tail. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to cut the tail from the opposite side so I can bring it over. Okay. So I'm going to have a little play around with two ideas and then choose one for my final piece. Okay. So let's have a think. I might start with the idea for a cat. So this is going to be really simple. I think really a cat has two pointy triangle ears. I want the ears to come up here, so I need the ears from down here to go above. Okay, so I'm going to do a triangle there and a triangle here, and I'm going to cut these away and then put them straight up there. Okay, so I'm going to cut, and then that's going to go there. Okay, get some of my sticky tape and put it here. Put that back there, and then I cut this and put it, so I've cut it there and putting it straight up opposite. Okay. And you can already see the characteristics of a cat, and that's simple. That's one done. You could do something as simple as that. So I've got my next one, my square. This time I'm going to try and do a dog. So we're going to use this idea and create our dog. So I want the snout over here, so I'm going to do a curved up here, and I'm going to cut that out and put it over the other side. And I wanted 2 legs and ears, so cut that out and cut that out. All right, let's cut out our pieces. Don't forget that when you cut them out, make sure that you sticky tape them right above where you cut them out. Otherwise they won't go in neatly when you make your tessellated piece. Once you've cut out all your pieces and stuck them down, you can have a little play and draw some details that you can add later on once you've done your good copy. Once you've done your little plan, now it's time to actually cut out some pieces. Now, for this project, it's good to at least have 3 cutouts to put onto your collage, okay? Have a look. It's always good to maybe use the flat surfaces that you already have, and all we're going to do is trace around our little template that we've created. Now it's time to draw around your template. Make sure you're lining your pieces up really straight so that when you create it, you can match them up when you glue them down on your piece of paper. Once you're done, cut it out. Once again, being really careful to stay on line so that they match up nicely. Have a think about your layout, whether you want gaps in between them or you want them stacked really close together. Have a think about what they're doing. I think these look like dogs trying to do a trick to get a treat. You might need to change your paper around too so that it's portrait or landscape to make everything fit better too. Now it's time to have a think about what other things you are going to be using in your collage. What are you going to have in your foreground and in your background? What location are your animals found in? I've decided that mine are little dogs trying to do a trick, so I think they're outside in the in the garden or at a park. So I've got grass in my foreground, I've got bushes in my background, and I've got someone's hand coming out holding a bone to give the dogs as a treat. Now you can see that I've also had some of my collage pieces coming off the paper. That's okay. If you feel like you need to give yourself some more room, you can do that. Once you're done, stick it all down and glue it all together, making sure that you put your background down first, then your middle ground, and then your foreground, making sure you have things in order. Now that you've got all your collage pieces stuck down onto your artwork, it's time to get out your marker or your pencils or paint and do any of your drawn details. Have a think about what your characters might need and what you might need in your foreground, in your middle ground, and in your background. On my example, you can see that I've added a few extra details using the coloured cardboard. Have a look at your artwork and see where you can put some of your own extra little collage details. I'm putting some on the dog tags and some extra little grass bits on the middle ground. Thanks everyone for joining me today in creating a tessellated collage inspired by M.C.Escher. I hope you enjoyed it and I can't wait to see what you've created, so please don't forget to share or email me some of your work. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!